One of the Albanese government's key election policies is a $2.3 billion cheaper home batteries program, which is due to start on July 1, so in just a couple of weeks' time. The government claims this plan will cut the price of installing a battery by 30%, a saving of $4,000 for each battery installed, it says. The government also claims more than 1 million batteries will be rolled out by 2030, so less than 5 years' time. But there is a valid question in all this. Who will install these batteries? And is there a danger corners will be cut in the rush to take advantage of the government scheme? Already, fire authorities around Australia are issuing warnings. Now, if this all sounds a little bit like Pink Bats and Kevin Rudd, even some in the battery industry right now are worried about this. Daniel Lazarus is one of the founders of Industrias Services Group, which pivoted from installing solar systems to servicing them. He now audits solar and battery systems and is seeing an alarming pattern of substandard installation and unsafe compliance. And he joins me now. Daniel, many thanks for your time.
Thanks very much.
How serious is the problem that you're seeing out there right now?
I mean, it's pretty serious. I mean, from our perspective, we've audited thousands and thousands of systems and batteries across the country over the last even as little as 12 months. And have seen a material amount of these batteries and solar systems, which are either substandard or a small percentage of being unsafe. And so even that small percentage of unsafe systems is big enough to create real worries about what the scheme might do with the tidal wave of what's going to happen around all these installs.
But as I think about this, it's in businesses, it's in homes, so houses, but also in apartment blocks.
Correct.
And if you have something that goes up significantly, it's going to cause a serious problem for government, for this policy, indeed for the community at large.
I mean, it will. I mean, and let me just stress, the architecture of this particular program is sound in regards to the accreditations that installers need to have, the standards that exist around the industry. But the problem is with this huge influx of rebate schemes, what will happen with the inevitable influx of businesses that will come within the industry to try to take advantage? And what are they going to do to try and maximise the rebate that they obtain? And how will they take advantage or at least avoid dodging a lot of these elements that are required to receive the rebate, that being standards?
OK, but what you're telling me already is that even though there are protocols and standards that have been put in place and presumably which were learnt from the lapses in the installation of the Pink Bat scheme, you're already seeing unsafe systems. You're already seeing lapses in standards. So that spells a significant danger if you're trying to roll out 1 million batteries over 4.5 years.
Totally. And the challenge is in some states, there is an element of mandate around specific inspections. In most states, there isn't. And in many cases, the inspections that exist today are in a minority of systems and are completely voluntary.
OK, so can I take you back on that? So in other words, a mandate that a system has been installed, that somebody comes out to check that the work is safe and to check that the work has been done properly, so it reduces the danger, the risk that there could be a fire in the future.
Correct. And that's what we're really advocating to industry, is around how do you make it such that either all systems or at least the majority of systems installed by every installer that's taking advantage of this rebate scheme is getting physically inspected. But in addition to that, sending the message out to consumers to say, hey, these aren't set and forget batteries and solar assets, just like your cars, just like HVAC and air conditioners, just like anything. You really need to take it upon yourself, if it is indeed not mandated for every system, to ensure that your battery and solar asset is inspected by a third party.
Because there is potential risk there that consumers, businesses have to be aware of, but also that government has to be aware of. Because if you've got an inspection system, but you're not inspecting every one of those systems as vigorously and as often as you should, then that's where the potential dangers could lie.
Correct. I mean, with Pink Bats, for example, the rebate scheme essentially increased the number of businesses in that sector from 200 to more than 8,000.
It's flies to a honeypot, bees to a honeypot, isn't it?
Totally. And even when you're talking in that case, there was a few fatalities, less than 100 fires, but all it takes is a small amount of incidents to call the entire scheme into question, which for the Pink Bats, for example, it reduced it from 4 years to 1 year. And the last thing that I want to see is a scheme like this, which is meant for only good, for homeowners and for the distribution of energy to be called off early because of these particular risks.
OK, so I'm going to go back to that original number I quoted, which is $2.3 billion. That's the price of the rebate scheme that the government is going to put in.
Correct.
That is the honeypot, as it were.
Correct.
That's what everybody's going to try and come for, because consumers also will see 40% discount on the installation of a battery. Thumbs up, that's a great thing for me. I think I will do that. The question is, who installs it, what shortcuts they take, and therefore, as a result, is that work going to be inspected?
Correct. And you can have all the mandates that you have around taking as many pictures as you can, taking selfies as you can, making sure that you're accredited. But I guarantee you, with these incentives in place, there'll be people to find ways around them. OK, so just having a look at this, the lower range battery that might be installed, you're telling us is around $6,000. But then a higher range battery might be, say, $15,000. But then on top of that, it's about $11,000 to install. So again, this is not outside the bounds of a lot of households, and certainly a lot of businesses, to install this, especially with the discount that the government will offer. Well, remember, this scheme is not just for batteries, it's for batteries and new systems. It's to replace existing batteries. You can add and upgrade existing batteries as well, but you can also stack on top of existing state-based schemes as well.
So in many cases, what you're saying here is it's a warning not just to consumers and businesses, but it's a warning to government to make certain that the safety standards are not only put in place, which they have been, you say, but then they're adhered to as this system grows out.
Correct. And it's around, yes, you've used the existing architecture, which is great, but then how are you going to use that existing architecture to handle this huge tidal wave of additional electricians or businesses that want to take advantage of this? And that's going to be a huge challenge. And I think these mandates that I've suggested will make a huge dent in reducing a lot of this risk.
Well, Daniel Lazarus from Industrias Services Group, it's a great explanation. It's a great danger. We'll stick with this as well because it's a really good story, and I appreciate your time.
Thank you very much, Russ.